Welcome to LCFM 87.8. It's finally Friday. We've got Maya Bell-Charlton in the studio, Brady House, Will Krause, Alistair Bugg, and I'm Cooper. Guys and Maya, welcome back.
And Maya, thanks. Yeah, it's good to have everyone back in the studio again this week.
Yeah, feels like a long time since I was in here.
It's been...
Because it has been.
It's been disconnected for a while.
Alistair.
We've all been off doing stuff and we've all been sick. Some of us still are.
I'm still sick.
Yeah.
Sick of Brady.
You'll get over.
I'm joking, Brady.
Or you've got to put up with me for another hour.
I love putting up with you. But anyway, coming up today on Friday the 21st of September, Alistair will be talking about Elon Musk.
And SpaceX new announcement.
Yeah, Brady's going to have another rant. Krause's going to talk about the rock challenge and get philosophical.
Yeah.
We got the ball, and then just anything going else that's going on. Brady, weather, what's going on?
Oh, did you want to start off, Maya?
Yeah, if my voice wakes up, matey. It's currently 13.5 degrees outside with a top of 18 and a bottom of 8 degrees tonight. So it's actually a fairly nice night if you're going to go out in the town or anything.
Well, it's meant to stay fairly consistent tomorrow with roughly the same temperatures. A little windier, but it should be good.
Good weekend all round.
Nice. We might go for a picnic maybe.
Picnic with Krause.
Might be a good day for it. We'll see what happens though.
Can we have a philosophical?
Philosophical.
Yeah, there we
Yep,
go.
picnic with Krause.
We're coming back to this. What makes up your perfect picnic basket, Will?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get there.
But yeah, first up, here's my interpretation by Mika. You're listening to LCFM on 87.8 with no ads, no interruptions, and nothing but good times. Now, around the college lately, everyone knows we've got a pretty good music program, but we've been doing the rock challenge. So over to Krause to talk a bit more about that.
Yeah. Basically, over the last 2 weeks, we've had all the different heats from across the state, and last night was the state final, actually. Last week's Lonnie Heat, which was on Thursday, was really, really good for Launceston College. We didn't get any acoustic acts through, which was a bit sad, but we completely swept the college band section and all three of our bands got through and no one else, which was pretty awesome. And then we went on to play this week, or last night rather, and Ben's Booty Angst from LC took out Best College Band, and Monique Howe got... Best Female Performer, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, in case you don't know what Rock Challenge is, basically, it's an event organised by Brad Harbeck, and it's sort of to find up-and-coming bands around the not even the Launceston area, but around Tasmania, and get them playing gigs and sort of start bringing more people into the public eye about who plays music and stuff and sort of getting the word out there. So it's a pretty big opportunity for, like, up-and-coming bands and young performers and all that sort of stuff.
So what were the names of all three of the bands?
We had Ben's Booty Angst, Animals with Big Heads, and Feels.
Yeah, so up-and-comers to look out for on the Launceston scene.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully my band will be doing like a gig or two in the next month coming.
Yeah, speaking of,
actually,
where can you catch some of the bands if they do other performances around town?
That's a good question, but I can tell you right now that my band are doing an acoustic gig on Show Day Eve at Baker's Lane, which is a Wednesday night in October. So that's a little way away, but that's coming up soon. So come along. It'll be fun.
Yeah, good thing to do in your holidays.
Oh, is it in holidays or is it that?
I thought you were like,
I have no
Is it
idea.
a good thing to do?
It's a little way away, but yeah, it should be pretty fun. Yeah.
Holidays are coming really quick. We've only got 5 weeks left of school for the whole year. 1 week left of term. Yep.
That came out of nowhere. I was not ready for that. Because I've been on and off with like having wisdom teeth out and stuff, and everything's sort of just caught up, and I've gone, wait, what week are we in? It's like, oh, we're in week 9. I'm like, oh, no.
And what noise did you make when the wisdom teeth came out?
Oh, I didn't actually. My dentist told me to shut up because I wouldn't stop talking, which was pretty funny. But no, it wasn't that bad actually.
Well, has anyone got any holiday plans?
a lot of study.
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a liar, Brady.
That's a lie.
Live on air, he's lying.
Oh, I've got to do my media and audio work.
True.
So,
Audio work you'll get done pretty quick, I reckon.
yeah.
Guarantee you first live show back, he'll be like, oh, crap,
Didn't
we've got
study
so
at all.
much to do.
Yeah. No, I'll probably just be working. What about you, Ali?
I've just got theatre performance rehearsals during the second week of holidays and not sure about the first.
Got any shows coming up for your production?
Well, we've got the 2 theatre performance shows happening the second week of fourth
Second
term.
week back.
Yeah, second week back.
Right.
And yeah, so we're doing you can't take it with you, which is my theatre performance class, and also I forgot what the other class's name is, but it's about a monastery in Mexico in the 16th century. So yeah,
Cool.
pretty cool.
That'd be interesting.
All right. I think it's time for another song. This is I Don't Feel Like Dancing by the Scissor Sisters.
No, sir, not today.
You're listening to LCFM 87.8. No ads, no interruptions, only good times. That was I Don't Feel Like Dancing.
Well, Elon Musk must be feeling like dancing right now because after what happened.
I bet.
Have you guys heard about that? Any of you?
Well,
Yeah.
we have, but why didn't you explain to the public?
Well, SpaceX, and also Elon Musk has made an announcement about the first private purchase of the flight from the BFR. And it was purchased from a Japanese billionaire, Yosaku, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. And pretty much his plan is to get a bunch of artists on the BFR and go around the moon, which makes them inspired to create pieces of art and like musicians, artists, sculptors, and a whole lot of people on the BFR, which helps to create some new experiences.
You do know you can see the moon from Earth.
Yeah, but like,
It's different. I think being able to see all of humanity in the background of this giant rock in space would sort of put a bit of a different perspective on life.
Oh, okay, we got some. All right, so who thinks a trip around the moon would help you make art?
Well, I don't know if it'd help me make art, but from what I've learnt from Wallace and Gromit, I'm definitely going for the cheese.
Cheese, Gromit.
What kind of soundtrack are they going to take with them up into space? Like, Dark Side of the Moon or Moon Age Daydream?
Grand Control to Major Tom. What's that song called?
Space Oddity.
Space Odyssey. David Bowie.
Oddity.
yeah,
Oddity.
David Bowie songs.
Is it?
Yes.
That's sad. I don't know that.
Oh, dear.
But do you guys ever think, if you had all that kind of money, would you guys go to space?
I would reckon. I would.
I think if it was like
If I
Yeah.
had money to burn, I would.
if I could
burn
afford
so
it
much
and
money.
it was like safe and it didn't take me like 5 years to waste 10 years of my life going back and forth to Mars, I'd probably do it because I feel like it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, and then you just like stare at the sun and you just go
just-
blind. It's like, but yeah, I'd probably would. I think that'd be awesome, given a chance.
Would you, Cooper?
Go to the moon.
Or just go to space.
Just go to space.
Not even
Yeah,
just go to the
like
moon.
even
Just
to
like
the International Space
yeah,
Station.
just do a trip out. Just do like a grocery run.
Yeah, just a grocery run up to
Just
space
grocery
station.
run to space. Yeah.
I don't think I'd be qualified to go to space though. You got to be really smart to do that.
Yeah,
You've got to
I'd
do a lot of
like-
training.
You do a lot
I'd
of
want to
training.
go, but I'd just be up there floating around and be like, "Ooh, what's this button do?" Next minute, the air hatches open and everyone's dead.
If I was going to space, I'd be like Homer Simpson in that one episode when him and Barney compete to go into space, and then Barney has like a glass of wine to celebrate and turns back into an alcoholic.
Has anyone here seen that episode?
No.
Yes.
Okay, that's what. Oh,
Good. Like surely I'm not the only one. He like semi-religiously watches.
Well, yeah,
The
like
Simpsons.
it's the classic Simpsons.
It's when it was good. It makes me sad that Simpsons isn't what it used to be.
isn't it finished? I thought they'd made their last episode.
I don't believe it is.
No, they're still
it's
going.
still going.
Still going.
As long as they can milk that for money, they will.
I think they're like having a bit of a jab at politics and life events that are sort of happening because they sort of like take satirical content out of modern events.
While we're on the subject, has anyone seen Matt Groening's newest creation, Disenchantment, on Netflix?
I have actually. I thought it was really good.
I haven't. What is it? Tell me.
Yeah, what is this?
It's
So say Simpsons is his take on, suburban life, Futurama, the future,
It's
and
a
now we've
sick-
got like
yeah,
the
it's a
past. It's kind
sitcom,
of a
basically.
Game of Thrones medieval kind of setting.
well, yeah, Game of Thrones. It's kind of like I'm trying to like think in my head what like the kind of the point of the stories, because it's sort of like, I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it, but like the series does end on a pretty like decent cliffhanger kind of thing.
Yeah, but the plot doesn't really kick in until halfway through the season.
Not really, no. But I feel like the plot isn't. Oh, and actually, I'll take that back. The plot is pretty solid. I don't know.
Well, yeah, well, for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's a good thing to do during your holidays while you're not studying like Brady.
Yeah. I think it's a bit different.
Why are you laughing, Brady?
I think it's a bit different to his other shows, though, in the fact that it's sort of played out like a single series is a single story, rather than like The Simpsons and Futurama being like a sitcom.
Yeah,
You know,
episodic.
like The Big Bang Theory or whatever, where it's like it's just day-to-day life kind of thing rather than like a single story. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Well, to close this segment up, let's settle the debate. Is the song that Cooper was thinking of Space Oddity? Saxon, can we put on David Bowie's Space Oddity?
You're listening to LCFM 87.8. Now that we've been talking about SpaceX, we was wanting to get a little deep in conversation.
See, I've been thinking a lot lately. I think a lot of the time. There's always been the question, you know, what is the meaning of life? You know, why are we here? What's the purpose of being alive? You know, what are we supposed to do with our time while we're still here? And I sort of wanted to know what everyone thinks they're here for, whether you have a purpose or if there's something you want to achieve in life. You know, what you think your greater calling is. Let's start with Cooper. What do you reckon?
Oh, wow. I don't think there's a better place to discuss this than local Launceston College Radio. I hope to enlighten everyone with my views. I don't know, Will. It's something you can easily forget about, just going through the motions of life. But yeah, I guess it's always there. I think, because I'm actually doing philosophy this year with Carl Hind, which is pretty interesting. One thing I've learnt is I don't think we've got free will at all.
You don't reckon?
No, because
You reckon everything's a simulation?
no, it's sort of like that. But every
Or
event
God's
causes
plan, or...
not necessarily God, but every event kind of causes another event.
Yeah.
You know, you drop a ball, it bounces back up. Was the ball free to not bounce back up? Is that the same that when you're angry, you really have control not to react? Or if you choose not to act, is that because of the way you were raised? And if it was because you were raised, did you have any control over how you were raised?
Yeah, true.
And then your parents raised you that way because they were raised a certain way. And, you know, it just keeps going back until the Big Bang. I don't know, actually know.
Well,
I think that's one important thing is that I don't know.
I think that's...
I'm happy to say that.
I think that's sort of the point, though, is not knowing. Because if you're constantly asking the question, you sort of lead yourself on to discover more things that you probably wouldn't have thought about otherwise. What about you, Ali?
Well, joking answer is 42 for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans out there. But honestly, I don't know. Like, I think the meaning of life for any creature kind of makes it so that it's like to help develop your own species in the evolutionary track of life. And like, that's personally how I see.
Like sort of progression of society kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, that kind of, like, you develop to help other people in the future. Yeah, that's how I see it,
Fair enough.
personally.
What about you, Maya?
I gotta say, life is what you make of it, you know? You're given birth to, you're raised, whatever you do with your life is entirely up to you. But at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. The cycle of life repeats.
Yeah.
Make the most of it.
But now the most important thing, Brady.
Yeah, but in saying that, as we all die, we also rebirth because plants, animals, they consume us, our dead corpses as natural.
Yeah,
Well,
well.
it's true though. Like,
Yeah, it
you know,
is.
plants take our nutrients, animals eat out of other animals. We do the same and we're reborn through them as they give new life.
Yeah, you get chewed up and pooed out.
So
by
you
a
got
worm.
all your views from watching The Lion King as a child.
Yes.
Yeah, I think...
Well, let's rock it back into less deep territory. Here's Rocket Man by Elton John.
To LCFM 87.8. No ads, no interruptions, and nothing but good times.
This is an interruption, Alistair.
Hey, knock knock.
Who's there?
The interrupting.
We're not going
You
on.
didn't interrupt in time. You're too slow.
And as you can see, our station is not known for its comedy.
No, clearly not. Not intentionally, anyways.
Talking about though, Elon Musk's trip round the moon. It was Rocket Man by Elton John, but we're also talking about the meaning of life and what it means to be a good person, as Will Krause yawns.
Yeah, I think something that annoys me a lot is just unfriendly people. You know, people who don't smile back and people who just like, you know, when you're walking around town and someone just gives you like stink eye, just gives you like a nasty look and you're like, why? You know, I think like, I mean, Australia, I think as a general thing, we've always been pretty good with like the whole idea of mateship and camaraderie. You know, going back to like the old Anzac thing and that sort of ethos. But like, I think being a good person is more than just sort of like being friendly and just smiling. It's sort of a lot deeper than that. It's sort of like putting other people before yourself, even if you're not really in a situation to do so. If you get what I mean.
Selflessness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
So how far would you extend that? Like, say, you know, you see a busker in town, you know, you've only got a $10 note, no smaller change. Are you going to put your $10 in the cap?
If they're good, yeah.
That's fair enough coming from a
If
music
I like
man.
them, yeah. I mean, you know, music taste is subjective. You know, if someone looks like they're really playing their butt off and they need the money, yeah, okay. And if they're playing stuff that I dig, yeah, absolutely. But if you just sort of, you know, I'd pay money to someone if they look like they're giving it their everything. But if they're sort of just doing it and they don't look like they're that into it, I'm like, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, without sounding like a jerk, I think if you're putting the effort in to go and perform, when you perform, it's not, I mean, it can be for yourself, but typically you want to be able to make it as much about you just doing something, but also like including other people into it, because that's what makes it a lot better, in my opinion. Because like just getting up and saying, oh, I'm playing this for me, it's all well and good, but if you got like people to interact with and get something back out of it, it makes it a lot better of an experience.
But on that, there's actually, you know, there's a fair bit of busking. It's also, I was recently in Melbourne, there's a fair bit of homelessness.
Yeah, there's a lot of homelessness in Melbourne.
What's a scummy amount? There's a fine line. If you donate money, you don't want to give 10 cent, 20 cent, but you don't want to give $50. What do? Would you donate at all?
It depends.
It depends.
Well, I mean,
All right, Brady, what's a good amount if you did?
Oh, I don't know. It's subjective to how much you've earned and all that.
I
Like,
think-
if you're on the lower end of the income, it's fine to give like $10 or something a year, because at least you're still giving back and trying to. Whereas if you're on a 100K plus salary, and that might be nice to give back a bit more to the community.
yeah, I mean, I think like $20 to give to a homeless person can do a fair bit, because you know that can get them like.
A couple of meals.
Well, that's a few
Well,
mils.
yeah, well, one, you can get like a hot meal, you can go buy a bunch of soup, or you could go Kmart and get like a jacket as well or something to warm up with if you need to. But yeah. That's something that really surprised me though, going over to Melbourne, is that just how many there, like I've probably maybe ever seen no more than 5 different homeless people in Launceston. Not even that, they might have not even been homeless, they might just have been
Hanging around.
Yeah, well, there's a lot down
a bit
Hobart
scruffy
way.
looking.
There's a lot of homelessness down at
Yeah,
Hobart,
it's
and they're all getting removed from the showground. I think it's this weekend actually.
Yeah, that was I think I mentioned that a little while ago, but they had a big homelessness thing after the flooding.
Yeah,
was
and
huge.
there's still a housing crisis going on in Hobart.
yeah.
Like, even in a lot of their housing department areas, the prices are skyrocketing.
Yeah, I think it was for a little bit of time. I think it still is the most expensive Australian city to live in,
I believe it still is.
which is insane, considering how cold it is there. And it's like, why would you want to go there?
It has a big W, it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I suppose some people see it as, why should I give? Because, you know, that's what we do in taxes.
Yeah.
You know, we put money towards this. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Ooh, I don't think we should get into the current
Yeah,
government.
no.
'cause got
Well,
some
I mean,
pretty,
I don't think we should talk about government, but like the whole idea of like taxing and where your tax money goes, I think
just think it's ill spent. It's some of their policies are.
I think some of it is like ill spent, yeah, but I think
we're getting
a lot of it's
serious
I think it's
for
a bit
Friday
early
night.
for
come on, I'm going to
politics.
say one thing: 6 prime ministers in 10 years.
yeah, that's pretty
that's it.
crazy. Although,
So that's
if you
it.
saw
Isn't
this
it
morning, there
Isn't it
was
7 prime ministers in 10 years?
No, it's 6, but one we've had twice.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
so 7 in
Yeah.
6 people in 10 years, 7 prime ministers in 10 years. Crazy.
wild. Also, just on that, there was something on the news this morning about the current Prime Minister wanting to add like $5.4 billion of funding into private schools and
Yeah,
public schools or
it's
something.
funding
Yeah.
private schools.
I'm not sure if that was
like
just in
climate change.
New South Wales or something, but I just thought, oh my God.
ScoMo.
I feel like that happens like every 2 Prime Ministers. We get just like one who just wants to chuck all the funding into private stuff, and you're just like,
he's pretty conservative.
So we don't wrap
And
down
yeah.
too hard on ScoMo, let's jump to something a bit more lighthearted. Brady, give
well.
us a song.
Coming up, we have Fleetwood Mac, The Chain.
I love this song. Welcome back to Launceston College Radio, 87.8. No ads, no interruptions, and nothing but good times. That was Fleetwood Mac, The Chain.
Waves hello.
Saxon's given his shout out. Saxon's been waiting to do that the whole time. We've also been meaning to give a shout out to Josh Dean, Vice Principal. He popped into the studio to tell us we're doing a great job. It's 10:18 this Friday on the 21st of September. And what's coming up next week? Yeah, guys.
The College Ball.
The College Ball.
who's going, by the way?
Yeah, Cooper
Has
and
any of us going?
Cooper and I said last week that neither of us had tickets. What about you guys?
I don't
can't-
have tickets.
I can't justify spending $60 on it.
You justify spending obscene amounts of... How much? You spent $500 on a guitar thing the other day.
That's different though.
We
You don't
don't talk
understand.
about that.
If you're a guitarist, you'd understand that. But
Oh, okay. I see how
I'd
it is.
probably go to the ball if I had someone that I wanted to take with me.
Aw.
But I don't have anyone that I wanted to take. Touch my knee, Ali.
We should do an LCFM.
And LCFM.
LCFM. Like we all go.
Nah.
Press
it's-
passes.
Anyways.
Press passes. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it is time to book your tables if you are going. So if you want to sit next to your group of friends, you can have a max of 10 people per table, but you can allocate to have 2 tables near each other if you have more than
You
10
can
in your
try.
group.
You're not guaranteed anything, but you can definitely try.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the Launceston College Ball at Grand Chancellor Hotel next Thursday, the 27th of
Yes.
September.
Exciting times.
Exciting times.
Wouldn't that be the 28th?
28th?
If today's the 21st? Oh, no. Today's
Yeah,
Friday.
28th.
It's fine. Friday, Will.
I've had a
it's a long
long
week.
night. I was stuck at the saloon bar setting up stuff for John Stevens, and I've still got to go back there today. So I've had like 3 hours sleep.
No. One more week of
Will's
school.
a trooper.
Get a good holiday.
Speaking of holidays, what's everyone's plans?
I'll be working.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Maya's landed a new gig doing DJing for a whole range of events, which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, wedding in Sorel tomorrow. Woohoo.
Wedding jobs. You've made it.
Yeah,
You've made it.
You've made
What's
it.
that? The wedding singer with Adam
Yeah.
Sandler. Actually, don't
I ain't
mind.
going to sing.
First you do weddings, next you do arenas. That's
how
the
it
next
works.
step up.
Yep.
But you, Coops, you got anything planned?
No plans.
Nothing?
No.
Got anything you have to do?
I gotta prepare for my UTAS performance next term.
don't really.
Well-
I've just been practicing off that for a long time.
Do you know what kind of set you're going to do for that?
Yeah, I've got my repertoire, but I actually haven't timed it because there needs to be like a set time. If it's too short or too long, you fail. So I haven't timed it, and so I'm not sure if I need to add anything or get rid of anything.
If you get it close to 15 minutes, you'll be okay.
Yeah, but on the thing, they're really strict. They said if you go over 20, we start deducting marks, and if you're anywhere under 15, you fail.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of,
You'll
I'm
be
not
right.
sure. Yeah, I'll be right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just to be like, just prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Ali Bug, what about you? He's got his big 18th on the holidays.
Oh, yeah. I do actually have my 18th.
Drinks at the Irish.
Nah.
Speaking of which, I saw Chris there
Yeah,
last
not
week.
too much.
Was
just-
Chris playing?
Yeah, he was playing with Havana Affair. It was actually pretty good.
We'll just give
As
Alistair a chance to
Alistair was
speak.
saying.
we'll come back to that.
yeah, so I've just got school stuff. And that's pretty much it.
Now you can talk about Chris.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
you can
sorry.
talk about Chris.
I was actually really surprised. I've never heard Chris's like.
Yeah,
'cause
Vox
I don't-
Turismo, yeah.
I don't know if Vox Turismo is still a thing.
Is that who he does now? Or he just does local
Oh,
gigs.
Havana Affair is like a cover band, but their singer turned out to be a lady who used to do relief for drama at my high school. I had no idea she could sing. She got pipes for days. She was killing it. I was like, wow. Plus, some dude was buying drinks for everyone on a company card there, so that was good because I got pretty drunk and I didn't have to pay anything. So,
Yeah, let's talk about that live on student radio.
What about you, Brady? You got any plans?
Not really. I don't know. I'll just go with what I'll make it up as I go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Get that radio play done, boy. We got a folio's due.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll think about that.
You just said you had so much
I'll do
work
it all the
before.
night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the standard way of doing things when you're in
Night
college.
before, week before, they won't know.
That's something I've wondered. Out of everyone here, who else is like a last minute doer of things?
I am.
Yeah, I gotta put my hand up
I'd
there a
almost
bit.
say that you're not though, because you're like just about finished ahead.
The
everyone
radio
else.
play was the one thing I've planned since the start of the year, so that's probably
Okay.
why I'm ahead of the game there. But
Right, that's
for
fair.
everything else, yeah, I'm a bit slack.
So what's everybody's radio plays about?
Oh god. We'll start with yours. What's yours about?
Well,
Well,
I'm
you're
video,
video.
Video
so-
too now.
Oh well,
Yeah,
then never
um,
mind.
Well, I'm doing a 80s style rom-com sort of thing where it's
Class.
like cheesy, deliberately cheesy, and using those sort of cliches in it. Bill?
Yeah, mine's about a guy who loses his family to tragedy as a child, runs away, becomes addicted to drugs, thinks he's living his life alone and has no purpose. Then finds out his dad is still alive that he's never met after he gets arrested, and then he finds out that he still has people to living for, and then he dies. So it's
So deep like your thoughts.
yeah, it's really
A Shakespeare kind of.
yeah, it's a heavy tragedy, but
that's
I'm trying to sort of impact the listener, so hopefully it gets there. But you, Brady?
Mine's about an old school dodgy cop. He robs a bank, but he's the good guy who's got the credit for solving previous cases, which has actually helped the criminals rob. And he's trying to get a new cop that he's worked with for a while to join him on his break-ins.
Cool.
And Cooper.
I delve into the science fiction, going messing with time travel and
Cats.
a cat
I
named
really
Gumdrop.
like Cooper's.
One of my-
Cooper's is cool.
Yeah, one of my main characters. Which my adorable cat in the radio play is voiced by Will. Kind of adds a really cool, deep sort of sound.
I
to it.
like the ending, the twist. It gets really deep. It's sort of just...
It sort of does a little
It's
bit.
kind of a bit silly, and then it just has this one like really super heavy
Out of
moment, and then
nowhere,
it just
so-
goes back to being stupid.
Yeah,
Well, not
yeah.
stupid, but like funny. I
Yeah,
like
so-
it. But you, Maya?
Yeah, I'm doing an adaptation of the Warrior Cat books, but it's set in a dystopian backdrop with people. So maybe we'll play those on air during, during the end of the year. Get
when we
people
get them
listen.
finished.
Yeah.
Not if we get
they
them
get
finished. No, when, Brady.
When?
I'll hold you to that.
When?
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't we just jump to our next
All right.
song to wrap that up?
This is Liar by the Henry Rollins Band. Hope you have a good weekend. If you listen in next week, we'll be back again for another episode of Finally Friday. Have a good weekend, guys. See you later.